Hey robot makers, hope you're having a good day so far. So I'm back from holiday. So do you want to learn about the Electreaks XGO CM4 Robot kit for the Raspberry Pi? Then this is the show for you. So let's dive straight in. My name's Kevin. Come with me as we build robots, bring them to life with code and have a whole load of fun along the way. Okay, let me get over to my keynote and we can make a start on this. This is such a cool product. Okay, so let's have a look what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be talking about the Electreaks XGO, or the XGO 2, if you've seen this before. I'm going to compare a couple of the different models that are available. I was quite surprised with some of the things that they have on offer with this, so we'll have a look at what they are. We're going to have a look at what's in the box. I've got the box next to me here. And there's so much cool going on in this box. I've got my little bit.ly just down here as well, just for sort of comparison, so we can have a look and see how they match up as well. We're going to have a go at controlling the XGO, figuring out how to make it pee. Why is this a thing with robotic dogs? This one also has a pee function on its little remote control. I don't know why they insist on doing that. You can see on the remote control there, the little one there on the bottom right, second up. That's the button for making that particular nibble do that. We're going to have a look at how you can program this as well, bring it to life, and of course we're going to have a bit of a demo, unbox it, and a bit of a live stream hangout as well. Okay, let's get straight to it. So what is the Electreaks XGO? So it's a robotic dog kit, and it has some really unique and cool features. So it's entirely metal, so it has an all metal design, which means it's quite hefty, but it's got a really nice build and finish to it. It also means that it's quite robust as well. You can sort of take this outside, no problem. It has a sort of built-in LiPo battery to power it. It has a really nice on-off button. Again, this is metal. When you press it, you get a nice sort of glow effect. We'll have a look at that on the demo in a minute. And of course, it's got an arm on the back, so it's like a Spot Mini from Boston Dynamics. On the front, it has a compute module 4 with a little screen and a little camera, so it can do all kinds of visual AI-based stuff. So it can do face detection, hand gesture detection, can follow objects, all that kind of cool stuff. We'll have a play with that. And you can even teach this how to do stuff. There's a little demo that we can play with to teach it how to do things with that robot arm. So that's something that's pretty cool. So the arm has 3 degrees of freedom. The legs have 3 degrees of freedom each. So in total, this is like 15 degrees of freedom. So it's a pretty cool robot. So let's have a look and compare at some of the models that there are. So there is essentially 3 different models. There's the XGO Lite version 1 from Microbit, and this surprised me. I didn't think they did this level of product for a Microbit. As you can see on the front there, you've got the Microbit stuck on the front as a little face, but that means that that's powering it. That's doing all the kinds of commands to make the robot walk around and do all the sort of performance things, gestures and so on. In the middle we have the XGO Lite version 2 for Microbit, so it's like the first one, but it has the arm on the top as well, and the arm can sort of open and close. There's a nice mechanism. We can have a look at how it does that. And then there's the one on the right, which is the one I'll be looking at today, which is the XGO Lite version 2 for Raspberry Pi, and it has a compute module 4 inside. That's probably part of the reason this has a higher price. So you can see the prices there. On the left hand side we've got $349 for the sort of first model, version 1, and then on the right hand side we've got the one we're looking at today, which is $749. And you can see there some of the things that they have feature wise. So there is no speaker in the low value one, but all the other ones do have a speaker inside, and the low value one doesn't have the robot arm as well, whereas the other 2 do. And you can see as well that there's an app that you can download for your phone. I'm using an iPhone, and we can get an app to control this. It's quite seamless and easy to do, so it's very productized, very easy to use. Comes fully assembled as well. So next up, Compute Module 4. So this is a nice graphic that they have on the website that I've taken and put onto my slides here. So you can see there the Compute Module 4 is sort of sandwiched onto a custom PCB board that they've made, which has the camera on board. It's got all the different USB connectors and so on, and the 4 buttons for controlling the user interface. Then there is a screen that sits on top of that, and then there is a screen protector, and it's all enclosed in a nice little case. Now, interestingly, that compute module 4 and the Raspberry Pi element of the robot is separate from the rest of the robot that does the standing up. So it essentially sends serial commands from one module to another to control the arm and the legs. And all the vision stuff is just done on the compute module 4. So it's a nice way of engineering this out as kind of separate parts of a product that they can then use for different use cases. So what's in the box? You actually get a surprising amount of stuff. So obviously get the XGO Robot itself. You get a nice charger. It's a really decent quality connector on the charger as well. Sometimes on these kinds of robots they might just use like a micro USB connector or something like that. This has like a proper chunky charger with a nice big connector on it. So it's once it's home inside the bottom of the robot, and it's thoughtfully placed as well underneath the robot, so it's really easy and tucked away. So once you sort of push it in, it's not going anywhere. Also comes with a micro HDMI cable as well, so you can put the output from that screen and have it on a proper monitor as well. And there is even a USB-C hub that comes with this, so that you can add additional things like keyboards for the Raspberry Pi, so you can have a keyboard, mouse and external screen all connected into your little robot there. There's also the instruction manual. There is some coloured balls and cubes, which is for use with the vision module, so you can sort of get it to track and move around with a coloured ball, which is quite fun. We'll have a look at that on the demo. And there's even a set of screwdrivers and some spare screws as well, just in case you lose them. So it's very thoughtfully laid out and quite an extensive amount of stuff that you get with it. Of course, you get a nice carry case as well. So how to make the robot pee. This is the most important function. So the app has quite a few different modes. The performance mode is where you can do all the kind of tricks and gestures that it will do, or the different behaviors. The remote control mode is basically, as you would think, you can just make the robot move around just by pressing the go forward, backwards, left and right, and it'll strafe left, strafe right, as well as turning. And you can even use like the gyroscope on your phone, or the sort of accelerometer. Or you can control individual motors as well, just to make sure everything is as it should be. And the way to pair this, I thought this was quite novel. You hit that little Bluetooth pairing button on your phone there on the top left, and then you shake your phone to make it go into pairing mode, and it's instant. It just connects, no problem. So really, really simple to do that. So quite pleased with the quality of the app that they put together. And programming this, you can program this in Python. There's even a like block-like programming thing, which is actually hosted on the compute module 4 itself. So you just basically just give the robot an IP address and then connect to it, and then you can program it on the robot itself. So that's pretty thoughtful, and it's a pretty cool interface if you're getting started with robotics, and pretty simple for you to get up and running. And I believe, I've not looked at this myself yet, but the interface, when you put the code blocks together, it will even show you the conversion to Python in real time as you move these blocks around. So also quite a useful way of learning Python by seeing how all these things sort of fit together. So what else we got? So pros and cons. And this is my take. Somebody once said, like, I hate these videos that you do where you get sent something for free and then you give it a really good review. I give things my review, and if my review is really positive because I'm a positive person and I love robots, then that's kind of what I'm going to be giving this. So on the pro side, so it's got a very high quality finish, so really solid construction. I've had this outside in the back garden, running around and so on, so it's really robust. Raspberry Pi powered, which is pretty cool. I'm really impressed that they've managed to squeeze in a compute module 4, which are also quite like a rocking horse poop at the moment, quite difficult to get hold of. And Cassie's saying there, it looks a bit like Scratch. Absolutely. So the block programming language is very, very similar to Scratch. I think they all use the base, is it Google Blocks or something? There was like a source thing that they all sort of broke off from. And yes, it's got a really nice carry case as well. It's very, very, very robust. You can put this on an aircraft or whatever. It'd take up not very much space, but if it gets bashed around, your robot's nice and safe inside in the sort of foam packing. And it's easy to control with a phone app. A lot of robots that get developed the software isn't always developed by the same team as that do the hardware, so sometimes the software has a lot to be desired. This isn't the case with this robot. It's a really thoughtful app that they put together, and it just works. There's no problems there. And Electreeks, they're a distributor of this XGO Robot, but they've laid on top of this an extra level of value by really bringing out quality documentation, particularly for like the education market. So they've really thought about this and put a lot of effort into adding some extra value on top of the robot itself. On the con side, obviously the model I've got, it's quite expensive. It's probably about a good value for what it is. I'm just thinking objectively, it's quite a lot of money. $749 is quite a lot of money for a robot. Now, when you think about all the different parts that make that up, it's probably about the bill of materials. So it is what it is. And then the programming library documentation probably needs a little bit of extra work. So if you want to get the robot to do various different activities and you're programming this yourself in Python or using that blocks thing, what actually happens is that compute module 4 sends serial commands to the controller that's controlling the limbs, and it does that as like a series of it looks like hexadecimal code values. So that level of stuff really needs a bit of extra work. So I'm sure that will come in time, and I'll probably do another video on programming this myself as well. And the programming is probably for more advanced users, so you can use the block interface via the compute module 4, but if you want to do the Python stuff, it will require a bit of extra time to learn that, I guess. So that's the pros and cons. So if you like what I do and you want me to make more of these types of videos, then make sure you give this video a like. Drop me a comment, let me know if you have a robot dog. If you wanted to have a robot dog, which one would you go for? Would you go for like a Bittle or a Aibo from Sony? Obviously the XGO from Electreeks. What would you go for? Let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. I've noticed my subscription numbers have been flatlining the past 3 months. So if you're watching this and you like what I do, please hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing and it really helps me out and gets the growth of the channel where it should be. And I do a new video every single Sunday. I go live every Sunday at 7 o'clock, come what may, unless I'm on holiday. And it's usually at 7 o'clock British summertime or GMT, whatever local time is to the UK when I go live. So I've got 2 sponsors for this video. We obviously have Electreeks, who are sponsored by donating the video, the robot for this video. And also we have PCBWay, who are sponsoring this video too. So here's a very quick video from PCBWay. This video is sponsored by PCBWay, your ultimate destination for all things PCB manufacturing and assembly. Whether you're a hobbyist, a startup or a seasoned professional, PCBWay has got you covered. PCBWay offers an impressive range of services. They provide high quality custom designed printed circuit boards for any application you can imagine, from single layer to multi-layer, flexible and even rigid flex PCBs. They have the expertise to bring your designs to life. PCBWay ensures fast turnaround times and affordable prices without compromising on quality. With their state-of-the-art facilities and advanced manufacturing techniques, they can handle small prototype orders up to large-scale production runs with equal precision and efficiency. PCBWay offers additional value-added services such as PCB assembly, component sourcing, and even functional testing. You can trust them to deliver the fully assembled and tested boards ready for integration into your projects. One of the best parts of PCBWay is their user-friendly online platform. It allows you to easily upload your designs, get instant quotes, and track the progress of your orders in real time. Plus, their dedicated customer support team are ready to assist you with any questions or concerns. So whether you're working on an innovative Internet of Things device, a robotics project, or anything in between, PCBWay is your go-to partner for reliable and affordable PCB manufacturing and assembly. Head over to PCBWay.com today and turn your ideas into reality with PCBWay, your trusted PCB manufacturing and assembly partner. So thank you for PCBWay for sponsoring my video. We do appreciate that. Okay, what have we got next? So yes, Electreeks have, like I said, donated the kit for today's show, which is very, very generous of them. So I just wanted to give you a link to the actual product itself. So if you go to shopelectreeks.com/products, you'll be able to find the CM4 XGO Robot Dog Kit for Raspberry Pi, I think it's called. You can see the link on screen there as well. I've also put the link in the description of the video, so you should be able to easily find that too. So thank you again, Electreeks, and thanks to PCBWay as well. So PCBWay, they manufacture all kinds of PCBs, as the video just showed you, and you can go to PCBWay.com to check them out too. Okay, should we get to some unboxing, shall we? Let's go over to the overhead screen here. Let me just move my microphone across. I'll just have to move Bittle out of the way for a minute. Do you like the eyes that I've given him? These are courtesy of me arm, robot arm. Okay, so here we go. So this is a really nice quality box. Let's open this up and see what we have inside. So let's see if we can get that all on camera. So this is the little guidebook to get you up and running really quickly. Very nicely produced. We'll play you around with that demo in a minute, and you can see the exploded view of the AI module, and it tells you about how to sort of charge the robot up as well, and how to use the interface. So we're going to have a look at this in a second, and it also shows you how to download the app and also how to connect to the compute module 4 so that you can get the sort of Blockly interface. And what else we've got on there? Some special operating notes as well. So yes, don't press it, don't pull it, don't fall, keep away from liquids. Your poor robot dog. So that's that. We have the robot itself here, but before we get to that, let's have a look in this top section here. If I pull this open, we can see that there's some extra bits in here. So this is the HDMI cable that I talked about. There is the USB hub, which has got the USB-C connector on it, and it's got 3 USB-A connectors and another one on the end there. This is for you connecting up like a Raspberry Pi keyboard and mouse. We've got the charger. So I've been charging this before, and you can see it's got that really solid kind of connector on it, nice and chunky. So when you're charging it, it's not going to pop out there. We've also got the screwdriver. There is a spare set of screws as well, and we've got all these different coloured objects here. Got some spheres and some cubes, so we can use these. Oops, what's going on there? We can use these to teach our robot how to do various different things. I'm just going to put those back down there, and here's the robot itself. So I'm just going to grab this by the butt here, and it's got these little sponge things just protect the face module there. So I'm just going to put these to one side a second without trying not to drop anything. Let's see if I can do that without dropping it. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like a bit closer. So you can see there we've got all these different limbs on the robot. There's quite a lot of articulation, so you've got that kind of articulation. You've got the foot, so it can do all kinds of clever motion there. The robot arm that's on the top can go quite far, and it can also go right down there. If the robot's sort of stood like that, it can maneuver itself to pick things up. And this also has a really nice mechanism in there for sort of opening and closing. You can see there how that works. That's pretty neat. And then on the front of the robot there, if I just move that back. I'll try and do that without breaking everything. That seems to have gone a bit tight there for a second. I don't know what I've done there. Right, yes, on the front there we have this this module. There's a little camera there, there's a little screen, and there is 4 user buttons, 2 on each side, and then we've got some other connectors. There's a micro HDMI connector there and a USB-C connector there, and this is the charge port. Like I said, a really chunky charge port, and the whole robot is made of metal, so nice and solid. So if I lay this down here, let's just put it like that as it comes out. And if I press the button there, wait for a second, it will stand up. It'll grab out its arm for a second. If I go for this kind of view here for a second, maybe that one, you can see a bit better there. And then back to the overhead. So what's happening now is it's kind of booting up, and in a second this screen will sort of turn on, because there's actually 2 computers in here. There's the one that controls all the limbs, and then there's the one which controls the AI, which is the Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4. So if I hold that there, you can actually see it says Program RC and Try Demo. And you use these top buttons to sort of move left and right through the menu. So if that side is right, that side is left. So what I'll do is I'll put one of the demos on. You press the bottom one here to sort of select it. And these options on here, so it says, it's a bit difficult to see here, it says Show. And this is essentially a demo. So I'm going to put it down there. I'm going to press the select button on the demo, and then let's see what it does. Now it does walk, so I'm going to have to just catch it so it doesn't run off the desk. Can you hear this as well? It's got some music. Alex loves this music. There you go, it's doing the P. It can sit. It's waving to you there. And it's doing some kind of stretching out thing. Move it back a bit. So you can see how articulate it is. It can sort of move its body rotating round. And then it will look like it's sniffing for something. Won't fall off the desk. And I think it just keeps playing that same tune over and over and over again. So I'm going to let it stop. So if I just press that, oh, there we go, the arms just come out. I didn't notice the arm came out. Yep, the music is annoying, isn't it? I think that's what Alex was saying about it. There we go. Doing some press-ups, impressive. Right, let's stop that. How do we stop it? There we go. Press stop. So that was the demo program. There's a couple of other options on here. So if I just go back and let's see if I can get this on camera here. So there's another one which is a mask. It says there, which is kind of like a face tracking one. So let's try that out. So if I select that one, let's see what happens. So it's going to use the onboard camera now. And it's basically looking at the screen there, and let's see if we can get this so you can see it. Can you see my face there on the screen? You can see that. You can see like opening my mouth. I'm trying to show you at the same time as do it like that. So it's tracking individual parts of my face. Could you see that? Let me just do that again. There we go, and it's actually trying to follow my face around, so if I move around, it will try and track with my face. Sorry, the volume is probably going in and out there as I'm going closer and away from the microphone. Okay, let's do the next thing. Stop that, stop. There we go. Bit fiddly with these little buttons, they're only like tacked buttons. So there's one that's called group, I'm not sure what that does. Hands is hand gesture recognition. Then we have touch, oh no, sorry, teach. Let's do teach. So if I press that one, it says A to record an action, B to end the recording, C to quit, and D to execute. So I think these buttons are A, B, C and D, because that's always like action, that one's always back or quit. So A and B. So I'm going to get it to try and pick something up. I'm not sure how successful I will be with this, but let's see if we can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that little object there. So I'm going to press A to record an action. Action 1, I want it to move this out like so. And then I want it to grip a little bit. So I'm actually just pressing the motors where I want them to be. So that's action 1. End record of that. And then if we do execute, let's see what happens. It's trying to grab hold of it. And then the action is done. Okay. So let's record another action. Action 2. So we've got this in our grips and we want to put that up there like that. So there we go. So that's end the action. Okay, now let's execute again. It should do both actions. So that's a bit tricky. We might need to use one of these sponge things instead. Let's try that. Is that about right? Let's try that again. Execute again. It does it very quickly. I'm not convinced about how quickly it's doing that. But that's the teaching part of it. It's essentially just taking a reading of where the servos are at the beginning of the action and then moving to that by the end of the action. And I think there's some servo easing going in between there as well, but that isn't quite grabbing what it needs to there. So as a demo, that works okay. I think there's a bit of work needed to be done there to improve that. Okay, next bit we have segment. Now segment is another visual. So if I just move this up here, so I don't know if you can see this. So here I am. It's segmenting me from the background, a bit like a Microsoft Teams or Skype background thing that we're all used to using. Okay, so that's demo. So segmentation is like an open CV. Software library. Let me just go back. I'm just trying to find the next thing. So next we have face track. So face track, again, if I just press that button there, it's going to try and follow my face around. So what I'll do for this one, if I stand up here and hold this, you can see that. But if I also put this down here and then go behind the other camera, you might be able to see this a bit better. Just a bit closer in. So that's the first couple of features. Let me show you this on this other screen here. It might be a bit easier to see some of these menu options if I get that into focus there. So you can see face track, we have show mask, group hands, teach segment, pose, QR code, age, sex, traffic, emotion, and then there's another page. So we just move along like this. Easy to press these. And then we have another one which is ball. So ball, let's press that execute button on that side there. Didn't drop anything. Didn't drop anything. Right, so what's happening now is it's going to look for a certain colour. So it says press button B. If I press that, now it's searching to try and find a ball. So if I hold up a ball in front of it, can you see how it's trying to track that? I have got some really bright lights in front of it, which might be confusing the camera a little bit. And it's also trying to follow the ball with its feet. So let me just put that down there, and let's go back to the overhead and see this kind of in action. Let's see if we can get it to track this. Not sure how far away it needs to be. I think it's crashed on that one. Let's try that again. Right, here we go. So press button B. I think it's trying to back up from the ball because it can't see it. I'm not convinced that one's working very well. Let's execute out of that one. And next up we have, so it says on here, speech. I've not tried speech, I'm not sure what speech is. Let's have a look at that one there. And we've got line, we've got colour, we have sound, height, what's that one? YOLO. And then there's like various Wi-Fi ones. And so on. So what I'm going to do next then, I'm going to pair it with my phone. I want to show you how easy this is to do. So if I go back to that menu on the front, and I basically just go back out of that. So if I press this left-hand button and then I make it go into remote control mode, and then press execute there, then it'll be waiting for the connection to be made. So if I go to my phone, and that's a picture of Archie on there, another robot dog, he's my cyber dog. Right, let's get the app up, which is called XGO. There's two apps, there's XGO and XGO Bot. So this is the XGO. If I press that button there, and then all I have to do is shake it to pair it. So if I do that over the robot, it's now paired. I can go to that remote control, and I can basically get it to maneuver about. Try and make it not fall off the table. There we go. So if I put that down there, you can see I can make it rotate. I can make it lower in height. Might be easier to see this on this one. So if I make it go low down or high up. This bit seems a bit unresponsive. I'm not sure why that is. There we go. And then let's go back there. You can also see the battery on the app. You can see how much battery is left. It's got about 75%, something like that. There are a couple of other modes. So there's one here where you can basically maneuver it with little joysticks. And then there's an X, Y, Z. And this just moves the torso around. Again, it might be easy for me to show you this. It's still in that position. Is there a way to reset? There we go. Reset height. Let's do that. So this one will move the body position around. If I go to this different view, you might be able to see this a bit easier. So he's sort of leaning forwards, leaning back. Maybe that sort of side on, you'll be able to see that a bit easier. Put him there like that. And if I move the controller forward, or the controller back, or the controller to the left or to the right, he sort of moves around like so. And then there's another one which is PRY, and this one sort of moves the body in all different orientations. I'll show you that from the front, you'll see what's going on there. So it's not making the body turn in all axes there, and you can make it sort of twist as well. So they're the controls for, go back on that one there, that's the remote control thing. If we go to performance, which is this button here, this is where we can make it do all these various different tricks. So you can see there, lie down, stand up, crawl, turn around, mark time, which is just like pause, squat, turn and roll, turn pitch, turn yaw. Then we have 3-axis, P, you have to have P, sit down, stretch, wave, hand, wave, body. And I think there might be another couple. There's another couple just there, which is swing, pray, seek, and handshake. So let's go for lie down. Go to the overhead. So I'll show you these as I'm pressing them. So if I do lie down, so he's sort of crouching, I would say, rather than lying at that point. Stand up makes him stand as you would expect. He's standing very tall. So let's go to that view there. So if I press lie down, he sort of just squats. If I press stand up, he goes really tall. He then does return to the position. I'm saying he. Crawl. Let's do turn around. That's enough. Now the feet don't have any kind of rubber ends to them, so it will slide a little bit on this surface, but when it's on like a carpet, it's pretty solid. Mark time doesn't do anything because that's basically just making him wait. So if you're trying to stitch these together in some kind of you know, sequence of activities, that's basically pause. We've got squat, we've got turn roll, so he's sort of turning, rolling. Let's show you that from the front. So that's turn roll. Turn pitch basically does the front and the back, like so. That's turn pitch. Turn yaw makes him sort of turn on the spot. Again, that'll be easy to see from the top there. So that's turn yaw. Then 3-axis is moved in all different axes there. It's kind of like all those top 3 in one. The obligatory P. Love the shake of the foot there. Just by comparison, This is our Petoy Bitly. You can see how they sort of look side by side. So you got the little controller on this one. If I make him stand up, how do I do this on here? I have to press that a bit further, I think. There we go. So if I make him stand up, stand up. I was trying to make him do the P thing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with that. There we go. So there you go. That's the other P. He leans over quite a bit. And then on the other app, on that other dog, let's see how he pees. We could have some dual peeing action going on. What has my channel turned into? Right, let's do both at the same time. So the motions on the XGO are a lot more smoother and slower, I would say, than on the Bittle. So if I just do the Bittle again, let's try to synchronize the peeing motion of both of the dogs. There we go. Got dual peeing going on. Both use the same foot. Is that the universal back right foot? Okay, next we have sit down. Let's do that. So it sits on its feet. And then back again. Let's make this one sit. Oh, he's doing a shaky paw. And then we have stretch. So stretch is... Oh, so I did mention this to the guys who created the app. Stretch and wave hand buttons seem to be switched around for some reason, so that's stretch. He does have a proper stretch, just like our dog does. He stretches the front and then the back. And then we have wave body. Let's have a look at that from there. That's wave body. Trying to push him out of the way. And then we have swing. So swing kind of just like moves the whole body round. And then we have prey. Got seek. I like this one. It's like he's sniffing for that thing that he's trying to find. And then we have handshake. Shake a paw. There we go. Do we have a shake a paw on this one actually? I'm not sure. Is that shake a paw? So there we go. You can see the heights of both of those robots. Obviously, the Nibble one doesn't. The Bitly, I should say, doesn't have the advanced AI that this one does have with all the face tracking and everything. But it has all the other things on there as well. It just doesn't have that extra freedom of motion where these joints can sort of pitch in your. Can I get them to shake hands? Is that what people want to see? Let's see if we can do this. Right, so let me figure out which one is which. So that's shake hands and that's shake hands. I need to figure out where the infrared sensor is on this. There we go. Now, the good thing on this one, he can actually right himself. Just like that. Oops. I don't think this one can right itself if you tip it over. I don't think it knows what to do.
Maybe do it lengthways.
Nope, I don't think it does because of the arm on the top. I don't think it knows how to do that. So there's no kind of IMU in there to correct it if it falls over. Whereas this one, if you tip it, it knows how to correct itself. Let's try that again. And it even knows if it's attempted it wrong, it'll try it a different way. Anyway, there we go. So we're trying to get the arms to shake at the same time, which was a... Let's see if we can get that to do that. So if I move that one round there. So shake hand, shake hand. There we go. They both shook hands. Good boy. There we go. Right, I think that's pretty much... Yeah, that's all the different performances you can do there. So what do you think of that? The other modes that we have on here as well, if I just sort of scroll through the apps, we've got performance, we've got the remote control. We do also have motor coordination mode and servo control mode. So motor coordination mode, we press that one, we can actually move, let me just go back to the overhead, show you this. We can actually change the position of the various different motors individually. It's a little bit slow to respond. And you can see all the different data things there. It's got X, 2, Y and Z and all that kind of stuff. And then there's another one which is servo control mode, and that's a similar kind of thing where you can basically just change the position of the individual motors and so on. We can just reset that to put it back to a sort of known good state. And you can see there it's pointing out which motors you're actually changing there. So you've got upper, middle and down. But you can make your robot fall over if you're not careful with that kind of stuff. There we go. Let's reset that. So that's the XGO app. Now there is another app which I've downloaded but I've not played with yet, which is the XGO Bot. So the XGO Bot app requires you to type in the IP address. So I'd need to find out what that is and actually set up this so that it connects to the local area network via Wi-Fi. So once I've done that, I'll do another video on that and show you how to do that. Okay, let's get back to the slides, shall we? And what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to switch this off just by pressing that nice big button there. And what it will do is just fold all his arms away, and then he goes off. So there we go. Just do the same with the other dog as well. So go to sleep. This does seem a lot smoother than this one in its actions. It might just be the weight. These are quite hefty and heavy. These are actually quite light, so a few pros and cons between each of them there. Okay, and then on the underside on this one we just need to hit the button to turn it off. Okay, so let's go back to our slide deck and see what else we've got on here. So that was the unboxing. So yes, we have merch. If you've not already noticed, I've got my new Robot Maker hat on. The red hat is looking about somewhere, but yeah, like I said, somebody was complaining about that, and I thought, just easier to get myself a new hat. It's just another piece of merch I can wear. And we've got the really nice mugs as well. We've got the black one and the red one, I think, of those. I'm not sure if you're using your mug. No, you're not brought that today. And we've got the t-shirts as well. We wore the XGO Robots t-shirts for the Maker Central event. So I think on the official Maker Central website and YouTube channel, there's like a trailer that they did for 2023, and I'm in there right after Xylofoxlin, so that's nice. So yes, if you head over to xgrobots.com/merch, you can find our store there and help support the show. And if you've not already joined our Discord group, you are missing out. There's a really great community. I was just poking around there this afternoon to see what people are talking about, and they're all helping each other out with various different issues that people might be having in their programming, or with various different physical pieces of kit, electronics. So head over to our Discord group, go to xgrobots.com/discord to get your sign up link. It's all free. Okay, and then how it works. I've been updating this over the past couple of weeks. We have quite a few extra how it works articles on there now. We've got the tack switches one, we've got the potato battery, which I will return to. I've actually bought some extra stuff for that. I can't remember where I put it now, but a lot more of the copper and the zinc electrodes to go into. I'm going to try lemons this time rather than potatoes, because I think you would need an unholy number of potatoes, and apparently the best way to get the energy out of the potatoes is to boil them, but then they start going off and smelling really bad. I did see a video of somebody who had like a warehouse full of potatoes all joined together, and he could get some power out of it. And he was basically powering like a little HP calculator and played Doom on it to show that you could actually do that. So you head over to xgrobots.com/resources, you'll find the growing resource that's on there. And if you're not following me on social media, there's a lot of calls to action here. Then head over to on TikTok, I'm Kevin McAleer 6. On Instagram, I'm just Kevin McAleer, which is nice and easy. On Twitter, I am at KevsMac, which is probably where I spend most of my time hanging out still. And then I also try and cross-post to Mastodon, and I'm at KevsMac at mastodon.social on there as well. I think that's nearly everything. So yes, our sponsor, if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that in a number of different ways. You can do a super thanks. So this is if you're watching this on replay, there's a little thanks button. You can hit that and donate the price of a coffee. If you're watching this live now, you can do a super chat. Let me make sure I've got all my overlays enabled for that? Yes, we have. And if you want to buy me a physical coffee, because I do love coffee, head over to xgrobots.com/coffee. I've got all the short links on my xgrobots.com site there. And of course, you can always just join the YouTube membership program just by hitting the join button on the player. And we have a number of people that I do need to shout out to, so here we go. Make sure I've got the latest version of this we have, yes. So we did have the Buy Me a Coffee from Buy Me a Coffee themselves. They bought me 10 coffees, which was very generous of them. And then our members, we have Day and Court, we've got Marlene, we have John, we have Tom, we have Shemi and Steve, of course. And then on the YouTube membership side, we have Johnny E. Bates, who's just joined this week. We have Bill, we have Oxrad39, Jose, we have Skipper Banks, we have Jeff Ford, we have Hans from Cheerlights, Michael, and we also have Tom, of course. So thank you to everybody there. If you want to see your name up on here, you can do that simply by going to xrobots.com/credits. And that's how you can get your name up there. And that's everything that I've got for you today. Cool. So what do you think about the robot dog then? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to go to buy one of these. And I do think, let me just go and check on my other computer. There was a message from Elect Freaks, and they were saying about let me see. So they were making an offer. They were saying that they've got a special offer, 50% off the price of this to the first person that wants to buy this. So if you want to buy one of these and get the 50% off, be the first person to comment in this video, and then you'll get that discount. I can only offer it apparently to the first person, but it's up to Elect Freaks how they want to do that. But yes, you reach out about that, we can take it from there. It is such a cool robot. Cassie's saying there. It is such a cool robot. I love the fact that it's all metal. It's really high quality. There's a few things I would like to probably change on it, like that, you know, if it rolls over, I'd like it to be able to sort of self-correct. But we can probably program all these things ourselves. The servos are all really good quality. The build quality is amazing. I mean, just some of the engineering that's gone into this, you can see on some of the... I try and get that into focus. Look at all the different screws and things. Everything's a really nice fit. And yeah, it's just a very well put together robot. Cool. So that's everything I've got for you today. Is there anything we needed to go through? Yes, there was. Of course, I've not gone through the chat. Good grief, Kevin. Right. So this is the point in the video. If you're watching this on replay, I'll say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.